Welcome back to the InboundREM YouTube channel. My name is Robert Newman. I'm the founder of InboundREM, and for those of you that don't know, InboundREM and myself have specialized in real estate specific SEO for over 16 years, which is why the subject of Realtor SEO, what makes money, is one that I am qualified to answer. I've worked on hundreds, if not thousands, of real estate projects, and the number one question that I get from realtors, or like the number one amount of feedback that I get when I'm talking very specifically about SEO is, okay, where can the money be made? And how long is it going to take? And what's involved? So today I just decided to do a video to really, hopefully, very fast, answer those questions. 3 places you can see huge results, and by results, so that we are all clear, there's a lot of different positive results from search engine optimization. You can get brand awareness, you can get traffic, but when we start talking about huge results that actually move the needle for any real estate agent that has a license or broker, I'm going to talk more about the money side. Where can you make some money? And how long is that going to take? And where are those opportunities? All right, 3 places you can see huge results. Number 1, top of the list that everybody probably knows, but you may not actually equate this to the concept of SEO. And that is YouTube. YouTube works in many of the same ways that the search engines do. You produce something, there are a number of signals that you can send when you produce the thing, in this case a video, and if you actually put those signals on each video, you can actually get double, triple, quadruple, or sometimes thousands of percentiles more traffic to a video. And here is the crazy thing. You can rank a video in a day, sometimes an hour, okay? So when you start talking about YouTube videos and SEO, search engine optimization, which just means, can you fine tune something on a search engine so that people can find it? That's all that it means. That's the whole thing, search engine optimization. There's nothing, what makes people think there's some magic to it is that Google oftentimes complicates the process and they hide the formula. They're not telling you how the secret sauce is made. So we're supposed to explore and experiment and figure it out for you. And if we do, everybody's under the impression that we're magicians. We're not. Just people that understand how this stuff works. So 3 places. Number 1, absolutely the fastest, absolutely a potential to make some money is YouTube. I'll cover timelines in number 2. The second place that you can see a great return is the Google My Business page, which is also sometimes referred to as Google Maps. And oddly, your business profile and Google Maps are 2 tools that Google has intertwined so closely together that you would think that they're the same tool. They're not. They're not. Okay? You can make a tremendous amount of money off your Google business profile. As a matter of fact, if I was to say, what's the number 1 tool that could take a realtor making 0 and potentially making hundreds of thousands of dollars? It's going to be a Google business profile. There are still very few people that are getting the search engine optimization part of this correct. And all the big tools like Local Easy, Text, and Yext, and Bright Local, White Spark, I can go on and on and on. Why are there so many companies focusing on local? For local service agencies, it's one of the top. It's the new Yellow Pages. It's the way to make your phone ring. And for realtors, it's a way to make your phone ring if you're looking for listings. So there's no doubt that huge results, when you look at the word huge and add in money and then you say realtor, local's got to be the number 1, like the Google business profile has got to be the number 1 thing. Probably if you're going to separate them out, followed very closely by Google Maps, which very few realtors even understand that you can make money off of, but you can. It's a separate tool and you can. All right, number 3, and this is a little more complicated because traditional search, which is the law, like lifestyle searches, how much is the cost of living in, that's where the biggest amount of money is. But the reason it's got a pretty bad rep, and I'll tell you why, try to make it simple, is that oftentimes Google, there was so much competition, so many billions of web pages, that in order for you to rank for these broad pages like homes for sale in Beverly Hills, believe it or not, realtors used to be at the top of that search, not the big search engines like Zillow and Trulia. Now you won't find a realtor in most places except small, less competitive places where search sites have a smaller presence. But still, if you were going to look at everything we could talk about in combination, some of the people making the most money in the entire real estate industry, some of the lead generators, they're making it off content sites, off traditional SEO, because they're ranking. They can have upwards of 50, 100,000, 200,000 people coming to a website. When the numbers get that big, there's no doubt that you can see results, which leads very easily, though, into timeliness, okay, of each, and a score of 1 to 10. I'm going to try to make this understandable to everybody. So the timeliness, it's got to be YouTube. All right, it takes about 3 to 6 months to start seeing real motion in a local profile, even if you know what you're doing. All right, it's not instantaneous. It's going to take a while. Even local service ads, which almost all of you are familiar with or become familiar with, is not fast, because there's usually 100 realtors competing for the same thing. There's license and verification. All of you have been through it. You know what I'm talking about. Timeliness, it's not very high. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for local, even though the money potential is absolutely there, I'll give it a 7 or 8 because it's not incredibly timely. Unfortunately, the score for traditional SEO is even worse, even though the money and the upward potential, the timeline, the absolute upside of that is massive. Life-changing, business-changing, broker-changing, and it doesn't matter whether you're an agent or a broker. You can see there's so much search. It's always, over a long enough time frame, going to be profitable. But SEO in today's world, and to try to make this a conversation around conversion, it's a year or two. It's a year or two. So that makes the score, timeliness, like 3 of 10 or something like that. It takes a long time. It's not timely. But there is a winner, a 10 of 10. YouTube. Okay, there's 2 things that a lot of people don't realize about YouTube. It doesn't matter if your YouTube ads, for $20, you can get thousands of views on a video. Video can rank in a day. Okay, and even videos that don't rank in a day generally do rank in something like a week. So you are really looking at a very fast timeline. It's like saying, calling a newspaper, for those of you who've been in the business for a while, you couldn't get an ad placed tomorrow. That didn't happen. You created the ad, you gave it to your ad exec, and that ad exec told you that it would come out in whatever the next version of the paper is. Generally for that, you'd be waiting a week or 2. So really, honestly, YouTube's faster than all traditional forms of media that I know of, at least. There's very few exceptions. Hitting a button for an email, maybe, okay? So in terms of SEO specifically, YouTube is without question a 10-10, all right? Income opportunity and the timeline, which I kind of covered the timeline. I messed up my little subject matters here, but income opportunity is an interesting thing to talk to people about, because there isn't really a cap. I have had agents go from 0 to making $1 million in personal income, all using nothing but SEO in my 16-year career. 0 to $1 million. I can't recollect anybody making more than that. So we'll say that the range is 0 to $1 million. The person that made $1 million started to make those kinds of numbers 3 or 4 years into the campaign. And the first year, they made maybe 0, or absolutely something minor, maybe 30,000. And then year number 2, that quadrupled in year number 3 and 4. And what I feel is holding back the number from going up is I feel like that particular example, the realtor has hit their own personal capacity. Another thing that I don't know, because we've never talked about it, is I know that they're generating more leads than they can use. So what they're doing with the excess is questionable. I think that they've opted not to refer anything out. I think if they did refer something out and took like a 25% split, their income would instantly leap up by $250,000 to $500,000 a year. So what is the actual income opportunity for an individual? Easily $1 million to $2 million at the top rate. But timeline is the important conversation. It is how long does it take? And like I've already said, it's a year or 2 to really start potentially even seeing any of that. Not promising you. That's a really proactive person, but theoretically possible. YouTube, I've seen case studies and I have clients that have been making money like 30, 60 days after they started and automatically, like in the first year, making 6 figures off YouTube. Okay. So timeline, first year, okay, with somebody who's dedicated. 6 months if you're super diligent. It could be very, very fast for YouTube, which once again makes it why it's a 10 of 10. You could change your life from getting your license, assuming you were driven and had some kind of business experience. You could get your license, get onto YouTube and start making money almost immediately, and then really start to capitalize on that, and within a short time frame. And there's realtors out there that are selling their quote unquote secrets, and some realtors have started from zero, made a few $100,000, and then immediately turned around and started to teach, because you can make millions teaching. So, and then last but not least, local. Now local is a little bit like more income cappy, because local is how many people are doing local searches. Now the thing about local is that all the leads are almost, like not all the leads, but a lot of them are really good. And so when you say, what is the timeline? 6 to 12 months. But then you say, what's the income opportunity straight up off local? I don't think I have anybody in my database making over $150,000 to $200,000 a year off local specifically, just that one avenue. Okay, so but it's also a lot less expensive to pursue it. It's not as much time. You could do 1 video a month. You don't have to constantly feed a channel. It is somewhat evergreen. Once you have the ranking, you probably keep the ranking. So I love the opportunity, because once you're established and you're there on local, oh wow, oftentimes really it's one of the more consistent money makers for a realtor. It's also one of the least amount of maintenance for a realtor. It makes it, and it helps the rest of your business because of reviews and information. So it actually does many different things all at once, plus gives you a really powerful return on investment. For those of you that have signed up for Yext and spent $1,000, it probably felt like a lot of money at the time, but you've been getting, let's just call it 1 good call a month for 5 years now. You've probably made $200,000 off your $1,000. You'll never see a return on investment like that for real estate marketing for the most part. So that's Realtor SEO and what makes money. I hope you enjoyed the subject. Do us a favor, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and stay tuned for the next one.